Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. So Tomorrow War is a big budget sci-fi film starring Chris Pratt, and it is a story about a future war in 2055 where the humans are actually losing. The entire human population is about to go extinct because of these really incredibly powerful and vicious alien species. And because of this, the people of the future are able to create a wormhole to send people back in time so then they can recruit them to go help fight this losing war. And so that's kind of like the general premise of this film. But what's really interesting here is Chris Pratt's main character. He plays this guy named Dan Forrester, who is an ex-military, who's now a science teacher. And because of all these events, we have another story that really holds all of this together. And it kind of adds a little bit more weight to an otherwise mindless action-filled summer blockbuster movie. So getting to the things that I did enjoy about this film is the overall premise. This whole idea of a future civilization that's losing a battle basically for human survival to this alien species, it's really cool. And I like the fact that how we have the time travel elements. It's something that I always enjoy about sci-fi films. And I like the fact that whenever they do go back in time, things are explained very quickly. And so you don't have to spend too much time trying to figure things out. And things just kind of like happen that way. And at the same time, with Chris Pratt's character, Dan Forrester, being the main central role, and the entire story really surrounds that, I did enjoy that because Chris Pratt obviously is an actor that is very talented and very charismatic, which leads me to the second thing, and that is the acting. Chris Pratt is just awesome. I mean, I practically love him in every single movie that he does, even the ones that aren't so great, because of the fact that he has a lot of charisma. He's a great actor overall, and I just enjoy watching him. So he brings a lot to this particular story. And at the same time, we have J.K. Simmons, who I always enjoy. And even though his role is limited, what he was able to do in this, I think it was effective. And then pretty much I would say the rest of the cast of characters and acting in this film, I think they did a great job overall, especially some of the future people that you'll see, because there really is a lot of emotion in this that, I didn't really expect in a big budget sci-fi film. Now, getting into another thing that I definitely like about this film is the special effects. Now, this movie was reportedly made for $200 million by Paramount, and it was supposed to be released in 2020. But because of the pandemic, that didn't happen. And so instead, Amazon bought the rights to actually put this movie out there on Amazon Prime. And so because of this, you could tell that there is a lot of money put into this, where you wouldn't normally see in a standard streaming service movie, not unless it was like a high budget title. But in this case, at least for me, I could definitely see where the money went. The overall creature effects I thought was done well, and there was only like a few scenes, specifically near the end, that it didn't look quite as convincing. But overall, you could tell that there is a lot of money in here. The special effects overall, I think, were solid, and it really helped to tell this whole sci-fi story. And at least for me, whenever you have a big budget sci-fi film, you're definitely going to make sure that the special effects look great. And so overall, I think Tomorrow War did a really good job of doing that. And so the final thing that I can say I really enjoyed about this film is just the fact that it is a fun summer blockbuster movie. So if you're the type of person who like things like Independence Day, Men in Black, Terminator, Aliens, then more than likely you are going to like this film. And the director of this film, Chris McKay, he did the Lego movie before this, and this is his first live action movie, if I'm not mistaken. And overall, I think he did a really good job. And even though it has a 2-hour plus runtime, he really kept things fast paced, which is really important whenever you have these type of movies. You don't really want any slow points or have it extended too long. And I would say I never really felt bored watching this. I just had a great time overall. For serious YouTubers, check out TubeBuddy, the premier tool news at GeekOutdoors.com. Get more done today by checking out the affiliate link in the description area below. Now, getting to the things that I didn't like about this film, even though the premise of the story I found was interesting, the overall execution is, well, it's kind of spotty. It's not something that you want to put too much thought into. And with most sci-fi movies dealing with time travel, it's really difficult to get that right. And especially when it's in a summer blockbuster movie where there's going to be a lot of plot holes and things that really don't make sense. And so if you go into this just not expecting too much out of the story in terms of explaining things in a way that makes sense, then you will enjoy this. But if not, you're going to be wondering, why did that happen, or why did they do that? There's going to be a lot of questions that's definitely going to affect the enjoyment of this movie for you. And then I would say the other thing that I didn't enjoy as much is some of the characters I really wanted to see more of, specifically J.K. Simmons, and I also wanted to learn more about the aliens and their backstory. And so if this movie ever gets a sequel, which I think it might because it did so well initially, then we'll probably get more of that backstory. And so overall, Tomorrow War is a really fun summer blockbuster movie. If you just go in there expecting a fun time, turn your brain off, then you're going to enjoy this. And so if you actually had any thoughts on this, be sure to leave that in the comments area below. And if there's any other sci-fi movies that you've enjoyed, be sure to leave that there as well. And if you did want to see more of my sci-fi film or series reviews, I do have an entire playlist. I'll leave that in the description area below. So as always, if you did get value out of these videos, be sure to share, like, and subscribe. And if you're a creative geek like me and you want to get exclusive access to more content that I don't put out here publicly on my YouTube channel, then join my Gold Content Creators group, where you're going to get content like this and more for all the creative geeks out there. And the best part is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and sign up for my Gold Content Creators group.